As a person that has owned a stock block and as a person that has done a swap, today we're going to talk about a topic that needs to be addressed, and it's going to be the pros and cons of swapping one of these cars. And side note, it's 2022, so you know I had to switch up the intro.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mr.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
What's happening, everybody? It is your boy Kendall Sean with the one and the only Blue Oval Media. That's right here. You need to go to blueovalmedia.com to get your official Blue Oval Media hoodie. You want to know why? Because I'm running out, and I'm not gonna make them no more this year. I'm about to go back to t-shirts, so you need to go and get these right now. But you all, today I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of swapping these cars. Now, this can necessarily, we can say Fox body, but this could be for anything for the most part. But today we're going to focus on the Fox body because technically that's the only car that I've ever engine swapped. And so I want to talk about that. It's a lot of pros and it's a lot of cons. It's a lot of things that some of this stuff may be common sense to some of you all, and I get it. So just slow your roll, okay? But for the rest of us, it's good to know these things in advance so that you know what you're getting into if you decide to do it or if you decide not to do it. And so let me break down my car, what I did, and how this can all make sense. So you all that have been following the channel a long time, you know exactly what I got, Gen 5 Whipple, but I have a 2004 Cobra engine inside of this car that we have spent the last 2.5, almost 3 years putting together, and I'm pretty much done with this project now. This is over with. I'm not doing anything else. It runs great. It starts up and it doesn't cut off, and so I am happy. But when I originally bought this car, I bought this car with the stock motor, and it was an original 1993 black on black notchback with a 302 in it, and I paid a decent amount of money for it at the time. And I could have kept the original stock block in there, but I wasn't going to get the joy that I'm getting out of it right now by doing that. And more than likely, Blue Oval Media would have never been birthed. And so I kind of want to talk about that because there are a lot of pros and cons to doing this thing. And so that's what happened with this one. So let's talk about some of those pros and cons. So let's talk about a pro. Pro number one, and these are not in any order or whatever, it is what it is, but here's goes pro number one. Number one, if you more than likely engine swap, okay, you're more than likely going to get more horsepower, okay? You more than likely are not going to put an engine inside of this car that's going to give you less horsepower. You're going to get more horsepower when you're doing it. The con is that it is going to cost you more money. And a lot of times when we get into these projects, we don't know how much money is going to cost. We think we may have an idea, and then stuff happens and it ends up costing way more. Or we start getting so involved with it and we start liking it so much that it ended up costing us way more money because we want to keep adding stuff and things of that nature. If you're a rich guy out here, that's not me. But if that's you, man, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. But the pro is that you may have a faster vehicle. The con is it may cost you a little bit more money. All right, number two. Now, when you're going to car shows and things of that nature, and you open your hood, it's gonna look a lot cooler. That's right. Yeah, it's gonna look much cooler, and people are probably gonna stare at it a little bit more than one that has a stock motor. When people see this, they're usually standing there looking at it a little bit longer than they would the original 5.0 that came in this car. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna have to pay somebody else to do it. And that goes back to costing more money, but you need to know exactly everything that you're doing as it relates to making that swap as well. So even though it may look cooler, it goes back to, man, I may not be able to do it all. And so I was a person that pretty much knew how to do 70% of the swap stuff. But when it came to the electrical and things like that, I trusted my boy Walt. And some of the other stuff, when I just got super busy with work, I trusted my man Mike with TNT Speed. And so some things did cost me money, things of that nature. Other things are gonna cost you money when you have to get it tuned and things of that nature. Like, it's not just gonna work just the way it is. You're gonna have to get it tuned and things like that. It's going to cost, and it's just if you know what you're doing, it'll work out well for you. But some things where you may be a little bit, or like you may not know as much, it may cost you a little bit more, and a little bit more time, and a little bit more energy. So that's another. Now, my next one is, there are a lot of cool parts that you can add to it. And so, man, you got this different engine in the car and all of that, and you can get all these amazing parts, because let's be real, stock 5.0s, 302s that are in Fox bodies, after 500 horsepower, you better start praying, because that block is gonna split. But it's a lot of cool parts depending on what motor you go with. I'm not saying you have to go modular or anything. I'm a mod motor person. I prefer modular over push rods and all that, but the regular motors, whatever. So it's more so gonna be, now, okay, how many more parts do I want to put on here? It's a lot of new parts out there, but the issue is, in 2022, after Corona and everything that happened, the availability of parts is out of control. It's hard to get some parts out here. It is very difficult. Some people have the money, they have the know-how, they have the knowledge, but what they don't have are the parts. And it's not because they can't, it's just because it's not available. They can order it, they can pay for it and everything. It is just not available. There's a shortage of control packs out here. There's a shortage of just a lot of stuff that you need to make some of these things work. And if some of you all are trying to make it happen, and trying to make it happen within a couple of months, it may not work that way because of the lack of availability of parts. And so that's another thing you got to look out for. All right, the next one is that, man, once you get it in there and everything's running, your car may sound better, feel better. You're gonna feel that horsepower. You may have thrown cams in it, and now your car is doing the Harlem Shake. Wooga, 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 wooga. It may be doing all of that. But then you might have to change the level of gas that you're using as a con. Now, that may not be a con to some of you all, but for some people, like where I used to live, E85 was readily available. Where I live now, I have to go far to get E85, and this car is equipped with E85. And it's just one of those things, like, you're gonna have to think about gas and things of that nature. And if some of you all are running race gas, what is the availability of that racing gas wherever you are? It's just another thing to think about, man. Like, E85 ain't the easiest thing to find in some places. Some places it ain't available at all. And some of you all know what I'm talking about. And I never thought I would run into this until I actually came to the situation. Where I used to live before, E85 was literally a few blocks away. Where now, I have to go at least 13 miles to get E85. So I can't be on a super low tank trying to get to the gas station trying to get some E85. It is just not going to work. All right, and my last one is that one of the pros of swapping is that built cars are more popular. I'm sorry, you go on Instagram right now, YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, everybody is drooling over cars that are built, and they love it. And they're like, man, those are the ones that have the most followers, the most comments. It's cars that are getting built, and guys that consistently upgrade and update their cars. Like, you think that you can stop, but it's always something new and creative coming out. Companies are always making great things. Man, that's a pro. The con is that sometimes these stock, low mileage Fox bodies can sell for more than all the money that you put into your build car. And that's just the reality of it. Now, I'm not saying all built cars don't sell for decent money. I mean, this guy doing coyote swaps and selling their car for a decent amount of money. But some of these stock, low mileage Fox bodies, man, they're going, man, we just saw one go for 6 figures recently, I think at one of the shows. And so I'm just saying, it's pros and cons to all of it. But it's really just comes down to the reality of what is it that you want to do. Yes, did I take a stock 40,000 mile 93 notchback and strip it all down? Yes, I did. And so whatever value it had as a stock Fox body, it lost. But man, doing this swap has not only created this channel, created the popularity of the car, but it's allowed me to meet amazing people like you all. And man, I love what I do as it relates to the YouTube community. No, this is not my full-time job. No, it don't pay enough. But at the same time, I'm able to now connect with other people. And so the pro for me is the connection that I have been able to make over the last 2 years with everybody. And then this car is fun. For the first year, though, I'm going to finally enjoy the car. I'm not doing nothing else. 2022 is the year of dedication to driving and enjoying the car. I'm even throwing AC back on it just because it's hot where I'm at and I just want to get out here and drive it. I do not want to just try to make it super fast no more. I'm not trying to compete, not with this car. With the other car, yes, but not with this one. We just want to make this thing fun and run. And so, yes, that's all I got for you all today. I just want to kind of just talk to you about that, talk to you about the pros and cons of it. Some of you all may be swapping right now. Some of you all may have some things coming up. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Make sure you go to blueovermedia.com. Get your hoodies today. I am shipping them out ASAP. I appreciate you all the support. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. It is your boy, Kenneth Sean, and I am out.